Okay, let's just dive right in. Welcome to today's Explainer, where we are going to untangle one of the absolute most confusing things in the world, common singing advice. If you're a brand new singer, you've probably heard a million different rules about how to hold your body, how you should be breathing, and exactly where to put your sound. Well, today, we're going to look at some of those really common singing mistakes, but much more importantly, we're going to explore better, far easier ways to think about them.
Let's start with a really honest question here. Do you ever feel like you're just fighting your voice? Like singing is this intense physical battle that leaves you tense, overwhelmed, or just completely confused by all the conflicting advice out there? I mean, you hear relax, but then in the same breath you're told to stand up straight and breathe hard. It's a lot, and it is incredibly frustrating when the very things you're trying to do actually seem to make your voice feel worse.
If that sounds like you, seriously, take a deep breath. You aren't broken, and you aren't failing. You are just working way too hard. Believing these common singing myths is completely normal. Most of these mix-ups come from old sayings that maybe sounded right at the time, but they get really confusing when you try to take them literally. So you're in good company, and you absolutely haven't been doing anything wrong.
So the crucial point is really what we're going to focus on today. A better voice comes from balance, not force. Almost every single vocal mistake we make comes from one huge misunderstanding. The idea that a better voice comes from working harder, holding tighter, and gripping more. But the truth is exactly the opposite. Your voice is a living thing. It works best when you give it good conditions and the total freedom to respond.
Section 1. Body Basics. Stop holding still. Before you even sing a single note, how you organize your body sets the stage for everything else. The classic mistake is thinking good posture means you must stand up straight and hold still, or even lift your chest. But stiffness actually kills your voice. When you freeze up, you shut off all the tiny natural adjustments your body constantly makes to stay balanced, and that tension creeps right up into your throat. The better way is to think of your setup as balanced and free. Imagine a string gently lifting the top of your head toward the ceiling, while your feet stay grounded. You get tall and long, but you stay loose. The goal is to settle into your posture, not hold it hostage.
Section 2. Breath Basics. Guiding, not pushing.
Let's shift our focus to the breath, which acts as the engine of our vocal team. You've probably been told a million times to breathe from your diaphragm. But what is that really? Well, it's a dome-shaped muscle right under your lungs. But here's the secret no one tells you. You actually cannot boss your diaphragm around. It works entirely on its own. When you try to aggressively control it, you just end up tensing up. Instead, you want to steer the muscles you can control, the ones keeping your ribs open and the belly muscles that gently guide the air out.
And that brings us to a massive mistake. People think support means push, or that they have to take a huge breath and hold it before pushing it out super hard. But stuffing your lungs to the very top just makes you stiff before you even start singing. Plus, pushing the air creates a really strange tone. The better way to think about it is to invite a calm breath in, low and wide, and then just guide the air out smoothly and steadily. Honestly, you need way less air than you think. You're a guide, right? Not a pusher.
Section 3. Making the sound. Easy closure. Now, what's really interesting about this is how the sound actually starts.
This brings us to the exact moment where air actually turns into a sound, where your breath meets your vocal folds. Your vocal folds are just two small bands of tissue inside your throat, and they are tiny, literally only about the size of your thumbnail. When you sing, they come together, and the air moving past them sets them buzzing. We're talking hundreds of times a second. It's an incredible little mechanism, but because it's so small and delicate, it really doesn't respond well to being bullied.
Which leads right into the most common mistake of all, the belief that more air makes a bigger sound, or that you should try to fix an airy tone with more air. Actually, past a certain point, blasting more air just blows your vocal folds apart. Your tone gets weak and breathy, and you end up pushing even harder in this terrible spiral of strain. The better way? You want the right, balanced amount of air meeting easy, gentle closure of the folds. That is what gives you the absolute most sound for the least amount of effort.
Section 4. Shaping the sound. Let it move.
Okay, so we've made our buzz. Now let's move further up the vocal tract to discuss resonance. Have you ever been told that your sound lives in one specific spot, so you should place it there? Or that you need to push it out to fill the room? The huge mistake here is taking that literally and trying to freeze your sound in one spot. But your sound is alive. It moves. Pushing it out to fill a room just causes unnecessary strain. The better way is to simply shape the sound as you move. Think of an opera singer filling a massive hall without a microphone. They aren't pushing or yelling. They're just gently reshaping the spaces in their throat and mouth to naturally boost the sound for them. It's all about singing smarter, not harder.
Section 5. Feeling. The team captain.
We're now arriving at the final and often most misunderstood pillar of singing, expression. A lot of teaching gets this totally backward. The mistake is thinking you have to learn technique first, then add the feeling at the very end. But when you do that, your voice sounds mechanical and flat. The better way is to start with the feeling. Here's the magic. When you connect to a real, genuine emotion, your nervous system automatically organizes your breathing, your throat, and your face before you even have time to think about it. Feeling doesn't just decorate your voice, it literally organizes it.
Section 6. Your voice works together. The circle, not the ladder.
So we've looked at all the individual parts. Now let's see how they interact. Your voice is a connected team. The body is your foundation. The breath is your engine. The folds make the raw buzz. The throat shapes that buzz into sound. And feeling leads the way. They work as a circle, not a ladder. That means a problem in one area usually shows up somewhere else. For example, an airy tone might actually come from your head poking forward too much. So when something feels off, don't ask, "What is wrong with me?" Instead ask, "Okay, which part of my team lost its balance?"
And here is something really encouraging. Function stays constant while style is choice. Whether you're singing an upbeat pop song, a soulful jazz tune, or a classical aria, these foundational basics we just covered stay exactly the same. The instrument is the same. The differences between styles are really just different dial settings on top of that healthy, balanced foundation.
Section 7. The one pattern. A paradigm shift. And this brilliantly illustrates our core takeaway.
Let's bring it all back to that anchor message. Look back over every single fix we discussed today, and you'll see they are all exactly the same fix. The old mindset, the mistake, always asks you for more force, more holding tight, or more micromanaging control. The new mindset, the better way, always points toward balance, staying loose, and gently noticing what your body is naturally doing. If you can just remember this one simple pattern, stepping away from force and stepping into balance, the right physical adjustments will start to come all on their own.
So I'll leave you with this final provocative thought. The next time you sing, stop worrying about managing a machine. Instead, ask yourself, what are you actually trying to say to your listener? And how can you stop forcing your voice and free it to finally say it? Stop managing, start communicating. Thanks for joining me on this explainer, and happy, healthy singing.